Hello. Today I figured I would try to lure you into a comforting atmosphere like your father drinking on the couch. Now, this story starts back when I was only 18 years of age. 18, I believe. I at this point um I was always going to AM PM and at AM PM they have these fountain drinks and they have an energy drink at the fountain drink, so it was way cheaper than buying regular cans of energy. So it's about 10 o'clock at night. And I'm on my way to AM PM. And in this specific part of my life, I would always notice loose dogs running out of like just stray dogs, looking like stray dogs, but they were just lost out of their property. So I would do my own due diligence and return them to their owners. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but I was pretty accurate with my shit. I was probably like 4 out of 5 times I was getting them back to their owners. I was really doing my thing out there. And this particular time, um, it was two dogs. This is the first time I ever experienced two dogs being outside, and I had to try to lure them back into their household. And so I drive, halt. Um, I'm like, fuck, man, shit. Do I even do it? This is two dogs. I've never I've never caught two dogs. How the fuck am I gonna get two loose stray dogs unless one follows another one? How am I gonna do this? And when I had seen the dogs, I was on my way back to my house. I had already gotten my energy drink. So, and I had beer in my car. So, I was contemplating to myself, you could either, excuse me, you could either go home, stay up all night because I'm drinking energy, and drink beer all night. Or you could turn around and do something positive and get these fucking dogs back to their owner. So, I drove a little bit. I drove away from them and then I said, fuck it, man. My consciousness, my guilty conscience got to me. My guilt, my own self guilt for myself started weighing on me. So I said, fuck it, man. Hit a U turn and I see the dogs. I run out. I park my car. I put on the hazard lights. I run out my car. I see these. I see this one individual outside his house, and I say, "Sir, are these your dogs? Are these your dogs?" He said, "No, I think they're actually the neighbors over here." So then I follow him. He takes me to these people, and they're all having some sort of house party or something. And we knock on the door. That she opens. We say, "Oh, hey, are these your pet animals?" She says, "No." She says, "They're actually the lady behind us." We said, "Oh, okay." He left. He skedaddled. That man didn't want shit to do with this dog rescuing. So I went over to the house that they said that were the owners of the dogs. Knock on the door. Dum dum dum. And it was an old lady. Keep in mind, by at this point, this is probably like 11 o'clock at night. So it's a lady, old woman, old Mexican Hispanic woman. She peeks her head out the window, and I'm like, "Ma'am, are these your dogs? Are your dogs loose?" And I didn't think about it at the time, but I think during that time she was thinking the worst, like young man, young motherfucker at her door knocking, trying to lure her out or something. So she was like, "Oh, okay, no, 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 oh, okay," and just pushing me aside. And in my mind, secretly, in my mind, I was like, you fucking bitch. I'm trying to be a good man. I'm trying to be a good fucking person, bitch. What the fuck do you mean? And so she ended up just, her head was peeking out the window. She ended up just peeking her head back out the window, out of sight. And I was like, fuck, man. I was like, shit, I better go find these dogs and do something with them. So I'm driving around town. I'm asking random people on the street, have they seen two dogs? I'm like rolling my window down, talking to anybody that I see on the street at 11. By this point, 12. At 12 o'clock at night. asking random individuals with backpacks and hoodies and fucking pajamas on and shit, asking them, well, have they seen these two dogs? So by this point, I'm at like almost like this, like I'm going, I'm still pretty central of the city, and I'm in the midst of asking people, have you seen these dogs? I'm trying to find out where the fuck these dogs went. And there was a lady walking with a backpack. I say, ma'am, have you seen two dogs? She says, but can you help me? I say, what? She says, these two people are following me. They won't leave me alone. They're stalking me. Please, I need some help. So I was 18 years old. I was still morally pure. I was still not tainted by this earth yet. So I said, okay, yes, get in. You're in trouble. Let me help you. You know, I couldn't help these dogs. Maybe I can help you. So I get this lady in my car. Or no. Before I had gotten her into my car, she was like, she softened her tone with me. And she was telling me things like just sweet talking. So I say, okay, yes, come in the car. She gets in the car, in the front seat of my car, right next to me. I hold her hand. She's holding my hand. I'm holding her hand. And she's pushing my buttons. She's knowing what she's doing secretly. She is softening me up. And so, I continue my escapade. And I'm chopping it up with her, I'm somebody who, I'm mentally ill myself. So with anybody that is out of the norm and weird, odd, I attract that completely. So I'm hearing the way she's talking, and I'm not even considering anything. I'm just hearing her talk, and I'm enamored by it. I'm completely falling in love with the way she's talking to me. Really pushing my buttons, But not particularly pushing my buttons, but she's pushing the right buttons to enter cheat codes into my mind and my heart and my soul. So we continue our escapade. We pull over somewhere kind of going near the outskirts of the city. And we're talking, and she's talking about like, oh, this, that, jumping from topic to topic, kind of like how I do, but I'm still following along because I'm on that wavelength, whatever she's on. And she talks about how she's killed somebody before. She said that she killed somebody by the age of 10 years old. So I'm like, damn. And at the time, I wasn't scared, but nowadays that shit would throw me off. I'd be like, bitch, get the fuck out of my fucking car. What the fuck are you talking about, bitch? I don't know why, but it would set me off. It would get me pissed if I were to hear somebody talk like that when I offered to help them. Like, bitch, what do you want? So, we continue, and in the midst of us conversating when we were on the outskirts, I asked her, like, can I see your mouth? Because I thought I was gonna get some glubber gums, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, dog type of slop, pig slop. I thought she was gonna slop up my hog, and she didn't really understand that because I speak in my own language. I'm the mentally ill one, and she's whatever. So we continued driving. We ended up going back to my house, and I was living with my mother at the time. But we have this big yard. And so I pull in, and we're sitting there, I'm parked. And then I said, so what are we going to do? Something like that. Something along those lines. And she had kind of was confused a little bit. And then she said, well, I can't fuck. I'm on my period. And I said, well, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I asked you, can I see your mouth? Because I'm trying to see what that fucking mouth be about. And so she laughed. She laughed. It was a good moment. And then she's like, we got to smoke first. Let's smoke up. Like, I don't really smoke right now. What are you talking about? What do you mean smoke? What do you mean smoke up? And she says, it's just a little bit of crystal. And as, crystal meth. And as she's saying it's just a little bit of crystal, she's pulling out a meth pipe out of her backpack. I'm like, what the? I'm like, no, 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 bitch, put that shit away. No, she's like, come on, we need a smoke. We need a smoke. And she's putting that shit up to her fucking mouth. She gets a lighter. I see the lighter. Bitch, that shit shines up. No lights, no lights. Boom. No lights when she flicks the lighter. Bam. Right there. Light. The almighty light of God is in her hands right now. To a meth pipe. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no. I'm like, I fucking swat her hand. I try to grab that shit out of her hand. She's like, don't fucking touch me. And I'm like, don't fucking smoke in my car. You know, she keeps trying to fucking light that shit. And then I'm like grabbing her hand again. She's like, don't fucking touch me again. So then I'm like, fuck, man. I don't know what the fuck went into my head at that time. But I was just fucking like, shit, action time, action mode. So I fucking put my car in reverse. I'm fucking you know, my driveway was fucking rocks at the time. All these fucking rocks flying and shit. I swerve out, put my car in drive. We fucking go flying out the fucking driveway. I turn to the right. In the midst of me going like fucking 0 to 40 in my fucking driveway out the fucking street, I heard her clearly say, we're both gonna die. And keep in mind, at this time in my life, I was 18 years old. I was on the cusp of having a mental fucking breakdown. I was at this point because I have schizoaffective disorder, and I was like, this was before a drastic episode in my life. So I was losing my shit when I like when she said we're both gonna fucking die. I felt that shit in my fucking soul that the weight of reality, we're gonna die. But in the midst of all this shit, me skirting the fuck out, her saying we're gonna die, she's lighting her shit. She's still smoking crystal meth in my fucking car. In the middle of me fucking skirting the fuck out and driving fucking whichever which way at fucking 40 miles per hour, she's still lighting up. So I remember I pulled in, or no. It's like driveway, right? It's the driveway. Then it's the residential road. Then it's a main road. So I go out into the residential road, and I park in the middle of the main road. Park in the middle. I roll down my windows. I open my door. I hop the fuck out. And I just didn't know what to do, to be honest. So I'm out here fucking yelling at like 12:31 in the fucking morning. Help! She's smoking fucking shit in my car. She's smoking shit in my car. Help! I'm trying to flag people down that are fucking driving by. And nobody's fucking stopping, of course. Pieces of shit. These motherfuckers don't know what the fuck good is. You know? They're not fucking stopping. I'm still trying to flag people down. I'm like, fucking help. Help! Please! And nobody's fucking stopping. And I can see her. I can still. She's still in my line of sight. I can still see that she's still smoking crystal meth in my fucking car. Smoke everywhere. So after a continuance of, trying to flag people down, cause a scene, get people to aid me in this fucking sense of urgency, I see that, a white car, because I had blocked the road, remember? I had blocked the main road. But I left just enough space to where cars, like I said, cars were passing me. I left just enough space for them to just fucking squeeze through and just not give a fuck. And whatever the fuck I was going through, I was on my fucking own. Yeah, I could have been fucking crying for help because somebody was going to try to fucking murder me. I could have needed help like a fucking man just tried to fucking rape me, and I'm a fucking man. Like some fucking crazy shit. And I was watching her smoke crystal meth in my fucking car, and a white truck pulls up, and it stopped in front of my car when it could have, squeezed through and left. And I'm just, I'm like, at this point, I'm devastated. I'm just fucking like, what the fuck? I was on the cusp of a mental episode, Like this was like a couple months before I hit a real bad episode. So I was like losing my mind. I was sitting there. I was like, what the fuck? No, I was standing there. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm watching. He rolls the window down. I can't hear what they're fucking saying. They're not talking loud. He's not yelling at her, but they're just talking. And then this bitch opens my fucking car door open, walks around the fucking truck, and gets into the white van, the white truck, and they drive off. And he stole my bitch. He stole my bitch. And without a doubt, that motherfucker was gonna be smoking crystal meth. Without a fucking doubt. I bet you the conversation went something along the lines of this guy's fucking tripping. You know, we're smoking, this guy's fucking tripping. Can I go with you? Something along those lines. I bet it was something like that. And I broke down crying after that. After that moment, I don't know what it was. My family has a history of drugs, and I was living in a household of drugs at a certain point in my life, so I think it kind of just hit me a little hard, you know, like, man, I tried to help somebody, and this type of fucking courageousness and fucking purity in my heart got tainted by drugs at the end of the day. I think that kind of hit me a little hard, unconsciously, subconsciously. I can't tell if either or, whether it's subconscious or unconscious, because, you know, it's either subconscious, I'm not thinking about it, but it's in the mind, or unconscious, I'm not thinking about it, but it fucking hits me. So I have no fucking idea whether it was subconscious or unconscious, but that shit broke me down. I just start fucking crying. I'm crying like a motherfucker. I haven't cried like that in years. I haven't cried like that ever since, to be honest, and I'm 21 right now. I haven't cried like that 18, 19, 20, 21, like 4 years. I haven't cried like that. But yeah, that's the fucking story. After that, I drove into my house and I just fucking, you know, I told my mom about it, and yeah, I just went to bed. No dogs were found and no lady was saved. I was just there with my beer in my car. And yeah, so this is the first story time I've ever done. So, you know, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know. And yeah, good times.